Hey, what's up, YouTube? My name is Matt Modi. I'm a content producer and betting analyst for OddsJam.com, as you can see on my hat here. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how to become a better DFS player. Hopefully, at the end of this video, you will learn how to be more profitable playing daily fantasy sports, how to make money on daily fantasy sports. However you want to view it, that is the goal of this video. And to confirm specifically what I'm going to be talking about in this video are daily fantasy sports companies, PrizePicks, Underdog, Thrive, Monkey Knife Fight. All of these different daily fantasy sports platforms is specifically what I'm going to be talking about today. Now, before I can teach you how to be profitable, I just want to teach you real quick how these different platforms work. The concept is the same. All you're doing is you're choosing two or more player props, choosing an over or an under, higher or lower, more or less, as the different books call them. Underdog calls it higher or lower. You can see what it looks like here on the screenshot. PrizePicks, more or less, as you can see on the screenshot here. But all you're doing is you're choosing multiple different player props and you're choosing that player to go over or under. The catch here, all of your player props have to hit in order for you to make money. If one of them loses, you lose all of your risk. Can also be viewed the same way in sports betting terms as a parlay. The more selections you add to an entry, the higher the payout is going to be, but obviously the higher the risk because that's more selections, more quote unquote bets, more props that you need to hit. But regardless, specifically what we're going to be talking about is, like I said, PrizePicks, Underdog, Thrive, Daily Monkey Knife Fight, all of these different daily fantasy sports platforms and how to become a better DFS player. So the easiest way for me to talk to you about how to become a better player is just to show you. So let me share my screen and let's see what's going on here. And I have up on my screen here, PrizePicks. Very simple. I select Joel Embiid, my favorite player. I click more. I select Jason Tatum. I click less. Guess what? $20 turns into $60. I add one more player, click more, $20 turns into $100. Showing you the more players you add into your selection, the more the entry, the higher the payout is. Underdog, it's the same thing. I choose higher on Carson Wentz passing yards. I choose lower on Brian Robinson rushing yards. Same thing, $20 turns into $60. I add one more, $20 turns into $120. So a little bit of a better payout on this one, which is another thing that is important to understand. The payouts are different depending on the different platforms that you use. But the concept behind them is the exact same. You're just adding different selections into an entry and you're hoping that all of them win. You're hoping to go higher or lower on all of them. The main question here is, how the heck do I know what is good and what is bad? What selections should I add? And that is what I am here to answer. What I like to do, there's a couple answers to this question. The first thing you can do, the easiest way without needing to do any research, so you go to OddsJam, you go to the positive expected value page, and you can filter specifically for the books that you're looking for. PrizePicks, Thrive, Underdog. Makes that part very easy. The OddsJam co-founder, the genius of Alex, discovered the implied odds of all of the different daily fantasy sports companies. PrizePicks is giving you their 5 flex option has the implied odds of minus 119, as I mentioned earlier. Underdog has a different number. PrizePicks, the non-5 flex number, has a different number as well. So that's the important thing to start, is understanding the implied odds of a different selection. Like if you were to just do a 2-player selection on PrizePicks on Underdog, implied odds of minus 137. So once you know that answer, you're right, you know the implied odds, minus 119, minus 137, whatever. The next order of business is this no VIG odds column here. So in general, the VIG is the juice that sportsbooks price odds. It's how they make their money. They charge a VIG. They charge a juice. So what OddsJam does is it collects thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of data points to answer one simple question. What are the sharpest sportsbooks in terms of pricing odds? Which sportsbooks are the most accurate in what they're pricing their odds at? And then once you make that determination that, oh, it's these 3, these 4, these 5, but one of them is better, whatever the answer may be, OddsJam collected all that data, came to that determination, and then removed the VIG from all those sharp sportsbooks using a weighted average. So let's pretend that the player basis market, DraftKings is really good. BetMGM is also really good. Caesars not so good. Tipico not so good. guess what? They're going to weight DraftKings and BetMGM higher in terms of how they're pricing the no vig odds. Now, to confirm, I'm not saying that's true. I'm not saying that DraftKings, BetMGM, whatever. I'm just using them as an example. So these no vig lines, these no vig odds that you see here are pulled from the sharpest, the most accurate sportsbooks in the world in terms of pricing odds. Remove the vig. So anywhere in which the no vig line on a player prop is above minus 119 for a 5 flex, minus 137 for a regular 2-leg one, is going to be a good entry to add to your selection. So right off the bat, without needing to do any research, I see 4 good props to add to my PrizePicks 5 flex entry. I didn't need to do any single research at all. I didn't need to think. OddsJam gave me that information. So these 4 are all for baseball, but no matter what the sport is, if there is a positive expected value play on PrizePicks or Underdog, it will show up on this positive expected value page, if NBA, NFL, whatever. So this is the first order of business, just hopping on positive EV page, finding plays from there. You don't even need to think. The next thing that you can do is go, and this is completely free, go to the OddsJam screen. So you see it right up here. You just click screen, and then you pick a player prop that you want to look at. So we're looking at NFL. Let's look at passing yards. So what the OddsJam screen does is it shows you what every single sportsbook is pricing their passing yards prop at. So with every single sportsbook and what they're pricing it on the screen, you can immediately tell who's a good and who's a bad player to add to your selection. Right off the bat, PrizePicks is pricing Justin Fields passing yards at 165.5. The closest other book that is pricing this is at 170. 5 full yards higher than what PrizePicks is giving you. Pinnacle Sportsbook, which is the sharpest sportsbook in the world in terms of pricing odds, has this at 170. So again, 5 yards higher. They also, if you look at how the odds shake out, think that the over is the more likely scenario. They have the over priced at minus 116. They have the under priced at minus 114, favoring the over. So not only does the sharpest sportsbook in the world think that Justin Fields' passing yards prop should be priced 5 yards higher than what PrizePicks is giving you, it also thinks that the over is the more likely scenario in that case. So right off the bat, without even needing to think that much, we immediately see, oh wow, I should take Justin Fields to go over his passing yards prop. This is an awesome, awesome play, backing Justin Fields in his over passing yards prop. We can look at the same thing, but opposite for Carson Wentz. PrizePicks prices it at 227. No book even has it above 220. That's the closest that we have is 220. So you want to watch Thursday Night Football? Guess what? I have given you 2 plays to add to your PrizePicks entry right off the bat. I didn't need to think that much. Here are 2. Right here. Here are 2. You take the over, Justin Fields passing prop. You take the under on Carson Wentz, and you just let all of the sports books do the work for you. So to answer the question of how to find good selections, how to make more money as a DFS player, you look for positive expected value plays. You could do both. You go to the OddsJam screen and you let the sports books do the work for you. You find outliers from PrizePicks, from Underdog, and what they're pricing totals at, and you take advantage of those outliers. This 227 is way too high on PrizePicks and Underdog. Underdog is right here. It's way too high. 227 is way too high on PrizePicks and Underdog. Also, looks like 217 is probably too low. Pinnacle prices that at 219. All the other books have it above 217. So guess what? You can also middle this. You take on Thrive, you take his over 217 on PrizePicks and Underdog. You take his under 227. And if he lands in between that number, which isn't the most outlandish scenario in the world, all the books have it landing between that number. And Carson Wentz throwing for 220 yards can absolutely happen. And if that does, you would have won the PrizePicks and Underdog, and you would have won the ThriveFantasy. So using the OddsJam screen, which provides what every sportsbook is pricing a player prop at, you're just hunting for outliers. That's all you're doing. If you can do that, you will be profitable in the long run. So hopefully this video made sense. Hopefully it wasn't too confusing. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. You can email us, contact@oddsjam.com. You can comment on the video with any questions. You can hit me up on Twitter @JediModi with any questions as well. But hopefully this video taught you how to become a better DFS player. Again, please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions. Thanks for watching and have a good one.